Reddit, what is a really inappropriate question you've always wanted to ask? If future archaeologists exhume the corpse of a woman with breast implants, will there be 2 silicone lumps resting on top of her ribcage? Please don't kill me for this, but why do black people and white people smell different? Edit. Okay, y'all can stop commenting about different diet, skin, hair product routine, different races also smelling different, and Asian people not smelling at all. Guys, do you ever jerk off to benign pictures of women you're attracted to, like non-suggestive social media pictures? When women give birth, does the stomach just deflate? Edit. Next person to tell me babies don't grow and stomachs is getting ducking whacked. Do twins get weirded out when their siblings have sex because their partner now knows how they look naked? If you teach a special education class and a student is late to class, can you call them tardy? How do they manage handicapped parking at the Para-Olympics? Women, when talking to a guy, do you notice the eye flutter as he takes a 1/1000 second cleavage glimpse? Edit. Obligatory. My highest comment is now about tits. This is the most people have referred to my username. Thanks for the gold, good stranger. So I think I'm slick, but as suspected, you girls don't miss a thing. Stolen from a tweet. Was Tarzan a virgin before he met Jane, or did he beat gorilla cheeks? What do blind dudes beat off to? If 5 naked dudes are lined up Congo style inside of each other going to town, and the one furthest back has HIV, how long must they duck until the man in front gets HIV? Anyone else have anxiety so severe it triggers your bowels? Uncircumcised men of Reddit, do you ever hold your foreskin together and then urinate to make a pee balloon and then let it go so it explodes everywhere? Do deaf people worry about farting too loudly? Edit. Never thought my highest upvoted comment would be about farting. Edit. Do deaf people worry about how loud their boners sound? Do women watch gay porn same way as men watch lesbian porn? What does it feel like to have someone ejaculate inside you? Edit. RIP my inbox. Where did the stereotypical gay voice and flamboyant persona originate? I've met a number of gay men that don't typify these and even hate that that's what's expected of them. I had a co-worker that was cross-eyed and I always wanted to ask what eye I was supposed to look at, but I was always scared of asking in case she was self-conscious about it and I would come off like a D. I don't know how inappropriate this is, but I've never met anyone who works in a morgue. If you die with a tampon in, do they leave it in or take it out? Are there graves all over filled with bones and tampons? When swapping out tampons, is it like the Raiders of the Lost Ark scene with the bag of sand and the idol? Do guys like when girls lick their nipples? Deaf people, have you ever used something with audio and didn't realize there was sound until halfway through? Cough cough like porno cough. Danger Ops Prangent 6, will it hurt baby top of its head? When 2 gay dudes go home together from the bar, how do they decide who's getting ducked in the ass? Like what if they're both top bottom? How does that conversation go? Not really inappropriate I guess, but how do people make friends post high school? Not even dating, which is a whole different animal in itself. Just making regular, platonic friends. I'm 21. Dropped out of college so that's not an option. I have one co-worker at work who hates me, and most of my hobbies are online. I know meetups are a thing, but honestly every time I go to an event alone I have no idea how to approach people and end up leaving early because I'm just standing there not talking to everyone. I want to go to bars or something, but I don't want to be that weird dude just drinking alone. It's like you need friends to make more friends and get dates, but I don't have any to begin with. How do obese 600-pound people give birth? And how do they have sex? Do they just go doggy style? Edit. Wow, this blew up. Thanks for all the answers. These questions came after watching yesterday's My 600 lb life episode and watching an obese woman give birth. While I'm only 230 pounds, at least I know how a guy will duck me now. Is it a common issue for your poo to get cut in half by your butt because you can't squeeze the last bit out in one push? I do this almost every time. Not intentionally of course, and it makes it quite messy to clean up and I have to use what ends up feeling like an above average amount of toilet paper. Are your poos clean? Relatively? How many wipes do you require on average? Update. Oh no. 231 notifications. 6,000 karma. This comment wasn't supposed to be the one. When police are in a chase, do they still follow the 20-mile-per-hour speed limits at schools? What do midget dwarf cock and balls actually look like? So when it comes to people with Down syndrome, are there hierarchies of how affected by it they are? I feel like I've been some people with Down syndrome that are much more higher functioning than others. Are the higher functioning people aware of the fact that they're higher functioning than the others? If so, do they look down on the lower functioning people? Edit. Thank you all for the fantastic answers. I asked this question right before I went to sleep and woke up with a lot in my inbox. I really appreciate all of the responses. Do guys lesbians take more sneak peeks at the tits or the ass? Edit. I didn't realize this would be a big one. It all started because I never noticed this and my BF pointed this out. Why do girls feel shy in lingerie and confident in bikini? Women. Have you ever grown out so much pubic hair that it gets knotted up and it kinda closes your two outer lips up? Before you ask, yes, I am gay. So, lesbians, scissoring. How often do you do this? Is this a common sex position? And yes, I've asked in the Ask a Lesbian subreddit. That just gets you a bunch of PMs from pissed off lesbians. Edit. This thread. Everything I've ever wanted to know about scissoring and lesbian sex. Awesome. My wife is laughing at me because this is now my most upvoted thread. Lol. How did you lose your legs, grandpa? Why don't humans have a mating season? Does the gay cause the lisp? Or does the lisp cause the gay? Do D's get prune wire after being in water for a long time? This is really inappropriate. Please forgive me if you are hurt by my question. Couples who are below average looking, do they find each other as attractive as an average or good looking couple do? Sorry. Why does my SOSD gets hard when I flop it around 2 fingers? Like I do it because it's funny. We laugh. Boom. It's hard and I can't flop it around anymore. Edit. Oh, this blew up. Nice. My top comment is me playing with my man's meat. Thanks for the answers. Glad to know I'm not the only one who does it. How do blind people know where braille signs are? When bald people wash their face, how do they know where the face ends and the head starts? Edit. I asked this kinda half joking, but some of the answers are actually quite interesting. Thanks for responding. Why does it appear that the LGBT community seems to treat bisexual individuals more harshly than gay or lesbian ones? Why is it when a little fart slowly comes out, it feels like a bubble is coming out of my ass? Oh god. I have one but I've always been embarrassed to ask. As in I'll probably delete this later. Alright, here goes. I've been in relationships where women like to be called names while in the throes of passion. It's not really my thing honestly, but because of this experience it has always made me wonder this embarrassing thought. Do interracial couples ever roleplay or use racial slurs during sex? Edit. Well, I learned it's throws, not throws. More edits. 1. Enough with the messages. I'll read the replies. 2. Thanks, but no thanks, it's not my thing. How do I cut the hair around my ass? Edit. Should have used a throwaway FFS. Is it possible to fart while receiving anal sex, and if so, what does it feel like for the party doing the ducking? How do blind people make sure if they clean up their ass after it, that it's clean? Do gay dudes jerk off to themselves in the mirror? To people who have settled in working a dead and or low paying jobs, when and why did you give up? How do female boxers MMA fighters plan their fights around their periods? Something I've been wondering about since grade school but got laughed at in 6th ed when I asked, where does sexually transmitted diseases come from? Did people have sexual intercourse with animals in the past and it's just spread like wildfire since then, or is there some other reason? Are you supposed to wipe clean your butt when showering? Apparently you are. Duck. Every time I have been in an Indian person's house, person from India, there is always this really pungent odor in there. Like I have had a cold and I can still smell it. It seems to always be the same damn smell too. What is it? Do women cricketers all wear a protector and how much does it hurt when you get hit there? It's mostly about makeup. I'll keep it to one. So I've gone to the beach with people. One girl from our group had makeup on. Like her face was a different color from her neck even. Anywho, once there she had a bikini, so you're getting all tan. My question is, if you wear a face full of makeup and go hand out under the summer sun, does your face get tan too? I'd imagine the rest of your body does, but your face doesn't. So now you have to wear new darker colored makeup to match. Also, do you sweat through makeup, or are you just like a tamale under it, wrapped in makeup and steaming under? Not an NSFW style inappropriate question, but never asked this because it is probably offensive. Why do a lot of black women seem to have really far back hairlines and also sometimes messy, like stubble at the front? Is it natural or does it come from overworking their hair? Do stupid people realize they are stupid, or are they too stupid to realize how stupid they are? Oh geez, I'm gonna sound like a redhead. I'm only asking from what I've experienced. Why are India, super cheap? I work retail and I swear to God every Indian customer asks if I can give them a coupon or a discount on an item. Like, is it cultural or something? Edit. RIP inbox. Edit 2. One of my highest rated comments is a stereotypical observation. Funny how Reddit do that. I guess it's less stereotypical and more cultural due to circumstance. Thanks for the answers. Do astronauts masturbate in space? Isn't Houston, or a foreign equivalent, monitoring their vitals for things like an elevated heart rate? And wouldn't they know if they did? Some astronauts have spent years in space. They have to have jerked off at some point. It'd be unhealthy not to. This one is taboo, so here goes. Are we ever gonna figure out why pedophiles are attracted to minors instead of just throwing them in jail? Can I come in your mouth? Why the duck are girls comfortable in short shorts? My boxers are longer than most girls' shorts. I swear it would be super inconvenient. I don't know why this reminds me, but it does. Years ago I had this co-worker who I didn't get along with. Dude was just mean to everybody. Couldn't stand the guy, but he always smelled ducking incredible. I wish I had the vocabulary to be able to paint a picture of how good this guy smelled. Dude was especially cranky one day and gave me a mild, but clearly intentional shoulder check while passing on a narrow path. At first I was furious, and honestly thought about clocking him, but then the smell. I'm telling you, it was magical. I went from wanting to fight him, to wanting to duck him at the speed of smell. I'm not even gay. It was a very confusing emotional roller coaster of a day for Rochesmo. Am I the only one that wants to bone Bowser? I would like to ask some people about their sex life, especially if one or both of the partners are handicapped or severely overweight. Who is on top? Do they even do it regularly? How can a felon get a job? My buddy did something stupid and got himself a felony weed bust. Having a felony on his record precludes him from pretty much all jobs. He's a competent network desktop server PC etc tech. How can he get a $% job? His most viable income source has been reduced to selling weed. Do some abuse victims enjoy the sex? If a pregnant woman gets shot in the titty, nah, never mind. How often do black people wash their hair? Do women fantasize about having sex with any guy they are slightly attracted to, like random guys at a bar or just walking down the street? Does anyone else experience strange arousal when seeing extremely good looking food? I've always wondered how my black friends, and literally any black person for that matter, can't pass another totally random black person on the street and do that little sup head nod like they know the person, even though they've never met that person in their life. I do my absolute best to avoid eye contact with random strangers. I can't even imagine that it. When guys pee at a urinal, do they pull just the shaft out, or the balls too? Do women who do massive insertion porn or partake regularly give birth easier? I've noticed while taking my dog with me to drive through restaurants, she's a big fluffy golden doodle, hardly intimidating, that if I go to Checkers, which is primarily staffed by black people, that everyone I've encountered at the window so far is afraid of my dog. But if I go to Starbucks, which is primarily staffed by white people, they love my dog. Is there some ingrained fear of dogs in black culture that I don't know about? I recently learned that the cervix starts dilating before labor. What does that mean? Can you touch the baby's sac through your V? Can you accidentally puncture it then if something went in there? Like a douche or a D? Like how much does it dilate before labor? Why is everyone at my work over 35 pouring all their life into their kids while letting themselves turn into slobby and unexciting content people? What about having kids makes you go duck it? My job here is done. Guess I'll just keep working Monday to Friday until I die for whatever wage they'll pay me. Are all black US citizens considered African American in the US? Do you ever use the term black? Or is it considered racist? Why don't BMWs have turn signals? Why doesn't anyone compliment men? Why do most people not retain the knowledge from their driver's manual? Why has God never cured an amputee? People who have a lisp because they put their tongue between their teeth. Why can't you just pull back your tongue a little bit? Why did she cheat on me with her ex? Like I'm over it now. But I want to know why. Was it something about me? Or was she just not sure what she really wanted? Edit. Gonna just add this here. It wasn't a very long relationship. Like 2-3 weeks. And she led me on for a week only to dump me. And then asked that we stay friends. Despite the fact that I have class with her 3 days a week. I haven't spoken to her since. This was the first time I'd ever dated, too. So yeah. Just a bit of context. One time I had a stringy or very high viscosity piece of snot in my nose. I blew, then tugged, then kept tugging, and I could feel this bloop-like sensation as the rest of it was pulled out of my sinus cavity and down through my nose. It was a weird but pleasant but mostly weird feeling. So I guess my question is, why is the capital gains tax so controversial? Also, how do I make that snot thing happen again? It was a very unique sensation. Edit. Prime example of the capital gains drama found below. Also, bloop stuff. If someone has lost their arm from the elbow down and they decide to hit you with that arm, would that be a punch or an elbow strike? Are you pregnant? You look pregnant. Future cancer epidemic. Do you think the incoming cancer epidemic is really because of us humans living longer, or could it be the fact that so many different things we consume already have hazardous chemicals inside of them? It would be good to recognize all the things the World Health Organization has labeled as a class 1 carcinogen, yet no one know about such things. Do you guys feel your D when flip over while sleeping? And when running or play sports? And how is the feeling? Edit. Wow. My most upvoted comment so far is about D or. Thanks guys for the information. I waited to ask this question for so long. When women are on their periods, is it a constant flow, or like an urge to pee? When do you know to change your tampon? Just had my second daughter and I'm terrified that there are 5% chance I have to address this in the future. I'm not sure if this is necessarily inappropriate or not, but I've always been afraid that people might think I'm asking for the wrong reason. In court cases where sexually graphic film is used as evidence, how exactly do they show it? Is there any kind of privacy to save the people involved from embarrassment, or does the person involved in the film have to sit in the usual courtroom full of people while they show it? This case was mentioned in a thread a while ago and got me wondering how exactly that worked. Why do people think you can't be racist against white people? I'm Latino. There's a girl at the mall I work at and she has huge hips and I want to ask her, so how do you go to the restroom? Specifically number 2. Anyone else as obsessed with sending and receiving nudes as I am? Is it a form or exhibitionism? I love it when my GF does, and it sometimes gets me on more than actual physical action. Do little people have smaller stomachs, eat less? Why is the phrase people of color acceptable, but colored people is considered offensive? I'd like to point everybody here towards a no stupid questions